Hey everyone, and welcome back to today's Explainer. If you've been following the news lately, current affairs can honestly feel like this giant, scattered puzzle of totally random facts and isolated events. But today, we're going to fix that. We are taking 5 highly distinct updates from June 2nd, 2026, and we're tying them together into a structured, really fascinating narrative journey. So by the end of this, you won't just memorize these facts. You're going to understand exactly how they fit into the bigger picture of our world. Okay, let's dive right into this. Today's map looks like this. We've got nature and agriculture updates, economy and tech initiatives, and finally, global heritage in conflict. Starting off with Section 1, Nature and Agriculture, Growth and Discovery. We're literally starting from the ground up today, looking at how people and scientists are interacting with the Earth itself. And I want you to focus on this number right here, 11. That stands for an 11-hectare farm down in the Pollachi district of Tamil Nadu. Now, this specific plot of land is the reason a man named Valuvan was actually honored back in May 2026 by the FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization. They gave him this incredibly prestigious title, Soil Farmer Hero. But a title like that, it's not just handed out for free. It has to be earned through hardcore, tangible results on those 11 hectares. So how exactly did Valuvan pull this off? Well, it's a pretty amazing mini-narrative of agricultural success. Basically, he completely transformed his land by ditching conventional methods. Instead, he went all in on multi-crop and multi-tier tree-based agriculture. And the kicker? This wasn't just good for the environment. It actually turned his farm into a highly profitable enterprise. A real win-win. Now, he didn't do it totally alone. This whole achievement was supported by the Aisha Foundation under their Save Soil Kaveri Calling program, which is spearheaded by Sadhguru Joggi Vasudev. It's just a fantastic example of ecological sustainability matching up perfectly with economic success. All right, let's pivot just slightly. We've talked about farming the soil, but now let's look at what scientists are finding growing naturally right on top of it. Specifically, on soil-covered rocks up in the high-altitude forests of Uttarakhand. Scientists from the Botanical Survey of India just made a huge discovery, a brand new terrestrial moss species. They've officially named it Indopatia himalayensis, which is a nice little nod to the magnificent Himalayan mountain range where they found it. Now, what's really fascinating about this discovery is its absolute rarity. Indopatia himalayensis is only the 3rd species of the entire Indopatia genus to be identified on the whole planet. Think about that for a second. To put that into perspective, and honestly this just blows my mind, the only other 2 known species are located miles and miles away. One is in the Western Ghats of India and the other is in the mountains of Thailand. It is a fantastic reminder of how much of our natural world is still out there, completely undiscovered, just waiting for dedicated researchers to find it. Moving right along to Section 2, Economy and Tech, Building the Future. Let's shift gears logically from the natural world to India's economic and tech infrastructure. It's a journey that actually spans from local street vendors all the way to high-tech semiconductor labs. First up, let's talk about grassroots empowerment with the PM Svanidhi scheme. There is a brilliant real-world contrast happening here. On one side, you've got the target audience, street vendors, right? The absolute backbone of India's informal urban economy. On the other side, you have these highly modern financial tools they're being equipped with. We're not just talking about basic financial help here. This scheme actively pushes digital transactions. They're offering cashback incentives, and they're outfitting eligible vendors with UPI-linked RuPay credit cards, along with actual training in digital literacy. It's a real game changer. Let's rapid-fire some hard facts on how this actually works on the ground. The PM Svanidhi scheme was launched back in 2020 as a central sector scheme. Now, if you are using this explainer to prep for competitive exams, listen up because you need to notice the nodal agencies here. It's implemented by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, or MOHUA, and they work in direct collaboration with the Department of Financial Services. Oh, and as a really nice holistic touch, they also give these vendors food safety and hygiene training. So you're seeing social security measures going hand in hand with economic ones. Okay, now we are going to scale up massively. We're going from micro-entrepreneurs on the street to macro-level technology. Recently, the Union Minister highlighted some really positive results coming out of India's Design-Linked Incentive, or DLI, scheme. The logical steps here are incredibly clear-cut. Step 1, develop India's capability in fabless semiconductors. Step 2, basically reduce the country's reliance on imported technology. And Step 3, dramatically increase domestic value addition. To actually get this done, the scheme hands out vital financial incentives and design infrastructure support, specifically targeting startups and MSMEs, while domestic companies get deployment incentives. So the crucial point here is understanding exactly who is steering this technological ship. The DLI scheme is implemented by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and more specifically, it falls right under the broader Semicon India program. Just like we noted the agencies for the street vendor scheme, lock this one into your memory too. The nodal agency running point on all of this is the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, otherwise known as CDAC. This right here is exactly how you systematically build a resilient domestic tech ecosystem.
All right, Section 3, Global Heritage, History in the Present.
Let's completely zoom out to the international stage for a minute. We are stepping away from policy to look objectively at a remarkable historical site. Unfortunately, it's a site that's found itself caught right in the crosshairs of a modern geopolitical conflict. We're looking at Beaufort Castle, historically known as Qalat al-Shakif, which translates to the very imposing Castle of the High Rock. It's a medieval fortress located near Nabatea in southern Lebanon. It is making headlines right now because, amid the ongoing West Asia conflict, Israeli forces recently pushed deeper into Lebanon and captured this historic castle, along with the strategic ridge that surrounds it. When you look at the timeline of who has controlled this fortress, you truly see the entire sweep of history. I mean, it was originally built by Crusaders way back in the 12th century, and because of its incredibly strong defensive architecture, it actually features both a high castle and a low castle. It was this highly coveted strategic prize. Throughout the Middle Ages, it fell under Muslim and Mamluk control, and then later transitioned to the Ottomans in the early modern period. Today, experts consider it one of the absolute best-preserved medieval castles in the entire Near East. Yet here we are in the present day, and it's changing hands once again in an active conflict. It really goes to show that history isn't just something stuck in the past, it's constantly being written over the exact same ancient stones. Which brings us to the end of our explainer. But before we go, I want to leave you with this final, kind of provocative thought. Today, we've traveled from an 11-hectare multi-crop farm in Tamil Nadu to a rare moss on the rocks of the Himalayas. We've explored digital credit cards for street vendors, big semiconductor initiatives, all the way to a 12th century castle in Lebanon. So the question is, how do our local actions, whether that's farming the soil or writing computer code, connect to the vast sweep of global history and the preservation of our world? For me, it shows that economics, nature, and history are all profoundly, deeply intertwined. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Keep asking questions, keep looking for the structure and all the noise, and I will see you in the next explainer.